Hoi. This video will be kind of short and simple because I really only have the preview of something I've been working on in the background, in and among the other videos I've been making too. And what that is a story told only through sound effects and maybe some captions too if I see that it fits, but still, the main theme is a story through sound effects. No talking. And the inspiration for this idea is from a video that I saw about the Voyager spacecraft. If you saw my recent Universe Sandbox 2 video, you might have actually seen it already. It was a spectrograph that Voyager 1 sent back to Earth many years ago, which marked its entry into interstellar space. And the coolest thing about that is the fact that the data can be played as a sound, and it was very eerie. If you want to see what I mean, have a listen. It's really cool. And in the recommended tab was a video by a channel named Space Audio, which had posted many different videos about various different spectrographs sent back from various different spacecraft. And in that one recommended video was a 14-minute-ish excerpt of Voyager 1 collecting plasma data from Saturn's magnetosphere. Now, the sort of data it was collecting and what it meant isn't what sold me on the video. It was the sound of the spectrograph itself. The instrument recording the sound, quote unquote, is extremely sensitive, and most of what you hear in the beginning of the video it's actually just interference from other parts of the spacecraft. And when you switch the captions on, you were given a bit of context as to what you were hearing. And in the first spectrograph, tile alone, you hear heaps of different things. You have this really eerie hum down low, which is the natural resonance of the spacecraft. The fascinating bit is later in the video, the intensity and pitch of this sound is lower. And there's no context for it at all. I have no idea why. Up here, you have this high pitch, constant tone here, which is apparently electrical power interference from the nuclear generators. Here you have a very, very loud knocking sound, which is a stepper motor pointing an instrument in a different direction, which vibrates the whole spacecraft. It's probably not even vibrating it very much, it's just this instrument is so sensitive that it sounds really loud. And speaking of which, that instrument recording this file seems to be adjusting its own gain so it doesn't peak too loudly. I think it's a pretty cool feature for such an old device. You have a strange tone here that gets louder and louder and then it just stops, which is apparently interference from a different instrument on board. The way I understand it's like putting your phone too close to a speaker or something like that. And finally, you have these almighty thumps near the end, which are the spacecraft's thrusters firing to adjust itself as it flies around Saturn. Or anywhere, really. And after hearing all of that, I was immediately in awe. And a bit sad, too. It sounded like we were actually piloting that lonely little spacecraft. And a crazy sense of, desolation crept in. Even though I knew what it was doing out there, picking up really cool stuff that had never been discovered before, I still had a really odd feeling about it. The spacecraft, the sounds it picked up, only having minimal context for the sounds and the captions. I thought that would be a wonderful basis for a story. Perhaps spooky, perhaps interesting, I'm not sure yet. So I got to work. And using 12 different layers of generated tones, sounds both recorded and royalty-free, and an unholy number of filters, I tried to recreate that first part of the Voyager 1 audio there. I figured this would be a good base to build a story from, and I think it ends up being a lot easier to work with and manipulate in the end, rather than just trying to edit the original sounds. It also means I can make it sound clearer as well, but not too clear. It's old, It's gotta be old. Yeah, so anyway, here goes. Now, it isn't perfect. I have endlessly tweaked this little sound over the last few weeks, and I still have to try and match many other sounds that I haven't tried to recreate yet. But so far, I think this is a good base for like crafting a narrative, and I'm really looking forward to working on this some more. So, yeah, just thought I'd show you guys like what else I've been up to. I have no idea when it will be done, but hopefully you'll like it. But that's okay if you don't. Like, I'm making this for the sake of it, for my own personal satisfaction of just making the thing. I just think stories through sound alone could be a really neat idea, and I'm pretty sure I could bring it to life, so like, why not? Oh boy. Yeah. Anyway, enough rambles. That's all I've got to show you on that front for now. And I guess to cap this off, for those asking, this week we shall be revisiting another familiar classic. And I, for one, can't wait to relive the many forms of terror that game gave me many years ago. You'll see. See you there, guys.